Happy to meet you here, Artem. This is indeed a wonderful conference. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being my partner. Anna, for me, is indeed a very important person. She was once my student, and when she came and told me that she was planning her own work, and she showed me her questions that she was planning to use. And since that, we've been the partners for 2 years already. We've been the partners, and I'm really grateful for this. So I give you the floor, Anna. Let's give the round of fires in the chat. Tap the fire button or write something beautiful in the chat. So thank you for the introduction. I'm happy to welcome you here. My name is Anna Nirmagina. I'm the partner of History Academy, Story Academy. Artyom was my mentor and the first person to introduce me to narration practices. I was also uh, learning the narration practices and psychology. And one of my projects that I would like to show you today, this is the project with the parents community. Those are the parents whose children they suffer from cystic fibrosis. Steve was just talking about those rare diseases. I'll talk about this a bit more. This is a rare genetic condition. According to official statistics, over 2,000 people with cystic fibrosis, but the official statistics about more than um, the ratio is 1 to 100 actually. So the number of those people who are infected is who have this condition is greater. Genetic cystic fibrosis actually influences the lungs, so any infection can be very difficult for a person with cystic fibrosis. So today's my topic. I've named called the hospital street the lighthouse. This is a parallel to a famous Russian poem. Many people actually they usually live in this constant clash between the home and the workplace. But the parents I was working with and I'm working with still, they also rush to hospital a lot because children with cystic fibrosis, they have to spend many, many hours and months and days in hospitals. I worked together with two psychologists who have been already working with the parents community. We've been working with this parents community for about 12 years. When I started working with this topic, I asked the colleagues how parents will feel when they learn about the diagnosis of their children. Alexei, one of the psychologists on the project, he told me that many parents believe that it's like kind of a wreck. They feel shipwrecked. They feel the guilt because cystic fibrosis is the genetic condition. They feel like they've given the faulty genes to their children, and this is why their children are suffering now. Also, many parents, they actually feel like they should not be happy about life. They should be deprived of any happiness. They feel like their life is ruined. Like they've ruined the life of their children, and they feel like there would be nothing good in their life. Everything that they loved is gone, and they don't deserve anything that is beautiful or good. I believe this kind of narration is so difficult. Before our first meeting, I couldn't really understand what people I would meet. And I also thought that probably I would see the people who are so tired, maybe totally exhausted or burned out, who need some support, who needed some tools to overcome what they've been through. So I believed that I would see the people who are ruined, who have no support within themselves, who need some assistance, who need some support from the outside first in order to find some strength within themselves. But I was so surprised when I came to the meeting with those parents, and what I saw was totally different from what I imagined. I saw parents, so women who are total leaders. I felt like I'm in a business accelerator meeting. So I thought like most people, they are successful, they're confident, they were also stylish, beautiful, happy. They were so confident, assured. They were laughing, they were sharing news. And those were the news about their weekends, not about those were not the news about diseases. And I was very positively surprised because was something I wasn't expecting. This atmosphere, this vibe, so was so natural, so far away from being artificial. Sometimes you feel like people overacting. They just try to show that they're actually confident and that they are happy to love and so on. No, here everything was true, just as it is. And I actually felt that you can just um, be really inspired by these people and find strength from them, some support in them as well. The psychologist Alexei um, actually um, shared a memory with me. He told that he once, with his wife, was in the so-called playback theater. So a person shares a story, and then the artists on the stage, they try to perform the story. And Alexei, he was also they were also together with his wife. They were asked by the artists to tell a story, and the artist then showed a very depressive scene where everyone is crying, everyone is so sad and so on. This was because we've told that we were working with the parents' community whose children have a rare disease. And for Alex and his wife, it was a shock because they knew that those meetings with the parents' community, they are always totally different. And today I would like to share with you what kind of exercises, what kinds of practices we're doing with the parents' community. And afterwards, I will also dwell a bit on the narration practices that were used, uh, how Alexei and his wife created this atmosphere um, that is so different from what we can all imagine. Together with the History Academy, we've carried out several meetings, and today I would like to show you one particular exercise, which was an exercise that we practiced during our last session with the parents. The majority of participants, they loved this exercise. Um, the exercise is called From the Descriptions to the Actions, or even from the epithet to the actions. This is a very good exercise when you discovered a bit about yourself, about your past, and this is a kind of a brief future so that you can really accommodate your new experience and live through them, live through experiences. Well, I asked the parents to write down three qualities they possess or they want to possess. So I asked them to think of the qualities we want to have in the opinion of their children. For example, um, kind, responsive, sympathetic, and I'm asked to write the qualities that actually can be influenced by our own choice. So you cannot just write down successful, because you cannot choose the success. Success is something that also comes to you, but you can choose to be a hard worker. You can choose to be sympathetic. So talking about the qualities and choosing the qualities, it's important to select the qualities that you can really influence you as a person, as a human being. What to do next? Unfortunately, we have some technical issues. We'll wait for Anna and then we'll continue. If you have the questions, please feel free to write those questions in the chat. You're back. Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Okay, we can see you. Yes. Oh, well. Your video was frozen. I was showing this small slide with, well, so I continue. There's a question already about the qualities. Well, it's easy just to use um, adjectives, but it's indeed those are indeed should be the qualities you can really choose. It's not only about a particular part of speech, not about the verbal adjectives and so on. It's just something you can really choose. You can choose to be sympathetic. You cannot choose to be successful right here, right now, today. But you can today be the choose to be sympathetic or responsive or kind. And we are talking only about the qualities that parents want to have in the opinion of their children. It's about an image. It's not about the qualities we can or should pass to our children. I've asked the parents to talk to other, others in the room, and ask them the following: so, who possesses this particular quality? Using the same, always the same formula. The one that possesses quality you choose is someone who chooses do, even if do. For example, the sympathetic person is the one who chooses to come and help, even if this person is very, very busy. I asked the parents to write down all the answers that were given, and maybe even find some patterns in those answers, and then have the formula on how to be sympathetic or so on. So the result of the exercise was the finished phrase. So one that possesses a certain quality is someone who chooses this and this, even if this and this. And where is the question in the chat? If it's possible to use this exercise with the patients. For example, probably this exercise can be given to women with breast cancer. And we can even uh, change it a bit. For example, we can reformulate it and say, write down the qualities that you want to have in your own opinion in a year or something like that. Well, so after this exercise, every parent had three finished phrases. When I was showing the pyramid, I believe the majority of you know this pyramid. This is the pyramid of a story. And I've showed them that every phrase they've just written down has already two parts of this pyramid. So, for example, sympathetic, this is exactly about healing. This part of a sentence, we say, someone who chooses, this is about the action, the very top of the pyramid, and the even if part is about the contrast. So, using this structure, using this pyramid, I ask them to try and build the story around one of the phrases of their choice, the phrases they have written down during the exercise. So I'll try to show you the example. Um, for example, usually this would be the story about this particular quality, but in a year or in somewhere in the future. Um, so what a parent could tell? Well, somewhere in the future, I would be walking in the park. I would be doing this and this, and something would happen that this. I would be confronted with a choice. I would need to choose. For example, uh, I would I would need to decide if I can help someone or cannot. I would have some obstacles, for example, and this is why I would need to choose if I would help a person or I wouldn't. But I would then decide to choose to be sympathetic and help a person because it would be more relevant for me. It would be more valuable for me to uh, help a person and save our good relations. And at this very moment, when you construct such a story, you can think, or one can think about his or her own values, experiences, even if uh, the, the action lead to something beautiful, some, my sacrifice, I would still know that it wasn't in vain because I felt satisfied that I've decided to be sympathetic, or probably I was proud of myself. Here it's indeed important to get the gist of emotion that you would feel. What kind of emotion, what kind of feeling would be occupying your body? And well, if something of it if something of the same happens, if this story happens, I would understand that in the opinion of my child, I can be sympathetic and so on. So this is a story, a possible story about the future. So I used the pre-formulated reference phrases that one can use while constructing the story. You can also change it a bit. And for people, it's easier to construct such stories, and they also probably for them easy to understand and um, form a special pattern for their behavior in the future through such phrases and through such a story. Well, truly, it's not uh, easy to follow the structure of a story, and it's hard to construct a story on, about some preferable future. This is an exercise. an exercise that actually helps us to better understand what one needs or wants from the future. Why this exercise is important? Because when we um, need to choose, we usually are overridden with emotions. We forget what type of people we are. If we want to be kind, sympathetic, independent of our children, and so on. And emotions actually guide us. But when we do such an exercise, when we are relaxed, when we can be aware of what we really want, of what we want to pursue, when we understand who we are, when we can also understand what sort of emotions we would feel. So in this relaxed atmosphere, it's easier to see the right decision. And when we construct such stories about the future, uh, it helps us in the moment. When it comes, for us, it's easier to be rational, to get rid of all the unnecessary emotions. It will just pop in your head. Wow, you wanted to be sympathetic, you wanted to be kind. So you shouldn't just follow the voice of your tiredness, because at the very end of this story they construct about the future, we put the stress on the emotion we would feel, like being proud, being happy, and it's important. It would pop up in the moment when the situation happens. Why you like this structure of a pyramid, not of the hero's journey? I believe it's the same structure. It's just presented in a different form, but actually it's the same. The beginning, the middle, and the end. The beginning, then a kind of a conflict or some inciting events, something, then another turning point comes to the hero, then the climax and the end. Believe that the Freitag pyramid is also the same hero's journey, but it just uses different terms a bit. Shall we teach people also the skill of um, emotion control? I believe I'm not an expert here, but I'm absolutely sure that it's very valuable for everyone to know how to monitor the emotions. And I believe this exercise actually indirectly also teaches how to react and how to monitor the emotions, to forecast your emotions. This is actually an exercise that teaches people how to look at your own behavior from the outside a bit, be more aware of the decisions. So in the long run, you change your awareness. I totally agree with the one of the comments in the chat. Here you can really learn how to be more aware. You can also see the comment in the chat from Alexei Gorbachev. he is a psychologist. He works with his emotional control uh, with his parents. Well, uh, um, I'm happy that I had the possibility to share with you. Uh, Probably you can try this exercise with your parents, with your community, or with your friends. Because the pyramid is the pyramid by Gustav Freydig. There is a question in the chat. And now I have like only several minutes, and I would like to briefly share with you um, the way these psychologists are working with this community, how they made such a secure and happy place for parents. And what I've learned that the secrets are actually quite uh, simple. Every meeting starts with some informal coffee where people can just learn something from each other. We can share some news and so on. And usually, even at this very moment, parents can get some insights that many other people they share the same problems and they can be solved. The second uh, important factor is that during the meetings they use the technology of changing minuses into pluses, disadvantages into the advantages, so to say. So, what is what does it mean? It means that we try to get rid from the words such as overcome, fight, and so on, because it brings this idea of something very tough and difficult. Um, this is why Alexei and his wife they've decided to change the narration. We, for example, have such topics of their meetings. Uh, the relations between parents, how to uh, be romantic with each other. So both psychologists they try to get rid of this narration of suffering. They try to show that parents and their children live their lives not to overcome something, but to enjoy the life and to create a bright future for each other. And what also helps to foster this community is the curiosity um, that is always shown by the psychologists. Um, really liked the speech on curiosity yesterday. Curiosity is indeed a muscle. You cannot always be just an expert and boss everyone around what they should do and how they should try something new. You should also be open and curious about the possibilities. Well, this is everything I wanted to tell you today. Thank you very much for being such attentive listeners. If you would like to ask questions, please um, contact me. And here on the slide, you can see the quote from one of my favorite songs. It is called "To Burn," and it says that we can be quiet, we can sing, stand around, but still we should burn. The great blue whale can't break the net. We can surrender on earth, but still we should burn in order to bring light to this world. Thank you very much, Anna. Wonderful speech. And you've covered the majority of questions in the chat, but still we have some time. If there are more questions, please write them in the chat. But what do you particularly like in this exercise and this practice? Well, I indeed like it because it helps people to feel, so to say, grounded, to feel the roots. This exercise actually builds the bridge into the future. It helps us to understand better what steps should we take in order to change our identity maybe in the future. It is very practical. It's very rational. This is what I like about it. Uh, There are wonderful comments in the chat. For example, from Irina Isupova, who just mentioned that she was happy to listen to this particular speech. It's exactly what she needed right now. Thank you very much for touching upon this emotional part. So Steve actually was touching upon the same issue, the way you program your emotions, what you feel now, what you want to feel in the future. Thank you very much, Artyom, for having me here. Well, you can ask still your questions in the chat. And now I have my traditional question about the lighthouses. The group of lighthouses is always better. So, what story you believe should be more widespread because it would make the life of people better? Well, that's my personal view. I would like to have everywhere more stories of people from different communities, countries, and those should be the stories on our joint values, stories that highlight that although we are all different, our worlds seem to be totally apart, still have the common goals, the common values. I would like to hear and listen to more stories from people from around the globe, showing that people try to pursue the same goals and they work for the common good. Both stories they actually show that people are basically the same. We all want to be healthy. We want our children to be healthy and wealthy. Well, our methods can be different, but still, the aim, the goal is the same for every human being. Thank you very much. I totally support this. I would also like to have more of such stories. Thank you very much, Anna. Well, we still receive nice comments from our listeners in the chat. Well, it's an interesting comment I've received just from Inga that I kept you all very busy during my speech. Great. Well, thank you very much, and once again